Hi, welcome everyone. I'm Looby Macnamara and I'm here today with Kathleen O'Hara-Farron, who is one of our cultural emergence leaders. So Kathleen, welcome. And today we'd just like to share a bit of our story with cultural emergence and the courses we're running. So Kathleen, you came on our first Cultural Emergence Foundation course with myself and John Young. Would you like to share some of your story about that journey with us?
Yeah, I was delighted to read about it online, and I was so thrilled to go and meet all the people there. And it was literally a bunch of days, a week of it was a holiday, but it was also nurturing. I learned a lot of practical things, and I learned what it's like to be in a group who work really well together without knowing each other. And I literally met all my needs, and I came home ready for more. I know this is something new, but I also know it's really deep rooted. And so it gave me an opportunity to take all my wishes, desires, hard work, and put it all into a little package, basically. So this is why it's an exciting thing. Yeah, I feel like it launched me. So that's why.
That's a lovely expression, launching someone. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of took the familiar things that were in permaculture, because you see, I love to think that I'm a gardener, but it's not about gardening. I feel like this is the time for social permaculture, for people to allow their natural kind of enthusiasm for the things that they're passionate about, which are anything from being creative to being practical to eating the right food to not being afraid to do anything that feels right to you. And so that I'm seeing is permaculture and people in action. So I really think it could be applied in so many places, and it kind of makes life a lot easier, and still getting on with the hard work, which turns out not to be so hard when everybody's in good form and like working harmoniously together. So, I mean, I obviously am enthusiastic about it. Like, I know you're running a course and I'm running a course this summer, and I'm actually curious about what kind of people have been showing interest in this new yet really ancient kind of approach. So it's got a name called cultural emergence.
Well, exactly.
Showing interest.
I think you're right that it is kind of new and ancient all at one time, because it's kind of a new package. The practices and principles, actually culture has been emerging since the dawn of humanity. It's nothing new, but what is new is the practices and principles that help us emerge it in the direction that we want, the direction of connection and responsibility and health and happiness, and how we do that. And so really, when you start saying who's interested in creating a culture of connection and health and happiness, well, that's kind of pretty much everyone, I would say. And it really seems to be attracting people who are looking for those ways of change, looking for transformation, who are already very aware that there are problems that need resolving in the world, and that looking for some hope and some tools that enable us to direct the change and to make the change that we want to see happen. So it's really attracting quite a wide range of people. It seems to resonate very deeply with people. This idea of cultural emergence seems to be really resonant for people. Yeah.
So one of the things that happened to me during that was I was kind of allowed to be free, be me, and also met my needs as a parent and as a teacher. So what I'm saying is, it's not your average weekend. It is a lot of outdoor activities, outdoor classrooms, because often that's, like, it is a lot about being in nature, isn't it? But it also appeals to the mind, because it's about the patterns in nature and applying that in your social conditions, be they an office or a a home, or like doing something new in your community.
Well, exactly. And we're all part of many different cultures, and we all have our own personal cultures as well. So the tools that we learn, we can apply in any different level. So it's not about, oh, I can only do this if I've got a community group, or if I'm running a business, or if I'm a parent. It's actually any of those things. These practices would be useful to you. So I think it's got wide range, and I think one of the kind of outcomes of the course is that we learn how to be in a state of cultural emergence. And I was wondering if you had any thoughts on, and I'd like to share mine as well. What does that mean to be in a state of cultural emergence? So Kathleen.
Wow. Deeply settled in yourself, with all your nurturing needs met, like really coming from a place where you haven't any needs from anything outside. Almost, it's almost like you've given yourself all those hours of whatever it is that nurtures you. You are being brave to try something new. You're not afraid to be sort of challenged. You're also, part of it is being childlike and being mature at the same time, and applying that in every situation that comes. I also like it because I'm nurturing my storytelling skills, and I'm finding ways of being with my children better. So it's not only this, it's everything else. I'm doing a lot of courses, and I'm doing different jobs, and cultural emergence, as you say, is everywhere. So it's quite exciting to take people out of the rut, to take me out of my rut and just soar, really go for it. And it's not like I'm learning a new lesson, it's already within. So yeah, it's very liberating, and also very practical, because I can move on with things. And I think what happens when you launch yourself into a mindset or a heart set like that, it's almost like the world conspires to support you. So that's what it's like for me.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, for me it's really I think the word courage you use there, and courage, and it enables us to be very hopeful and to look for the possibilities for change in our own lives, and outside of that in our own communities, and to be very proactive and responsible. And cultural emergence becomes this embodiment. It's not just a kind of set of head tools, it's actually we embody it in our hearts and our minds and our bodies, and can move forward. And as you say, once we start having that embodiment, the synchronicities happen, and the flow, it's really beautiful flow with life, that we kind of move and are able to respond to life in a different way, whatever life is throwing at us. So, or throwing, that's maybe not the right word, but like what life is giving to us and presenting to us. Yeah.
Or flowing, not throwing.
Yeah, exactly.
but with this momentum, right? So actually, it's just as well as it's just a good time, actually, probably to kind of, what's the sort of call to action now? What should people do? What's the next stage?
Well, I think if you want to find out more about Cultural Emergence, go to our Facebook page, and the Cultural Emergence Facebook page, and you'll see some other stories there, and can find out about our courses. And there's other courses happening around Europe. Kathleen, your course is in Ireland, and it's looking very beautiful there. And like to just fly over at the moment, and my course is in Herefordshire, Applewood Permaculture Centre. So, but there's other courses happening around Europe as well with other cultural emergence leaders, and it's really a way of kind of connecting many different things. It's very connective, cultural emergence, like the mycelium that can connect lots of different schools of thoughts, permaculture and eight shields and activism and the work that reconnects and transition. They're all can be connected through this cultural emergence and bring things together for people. So I have great intentions for where cultural emergence will go, and what outcomes and what it can do in the world, with of course that emergence property that we don't actually know where the tipping points are and how we can manifest the change we want to see in the world. But I do believe we can do it, and cultural emergence can help us. So yeah, thank you, Kathleen.
Oh, that's lovely. So yours is at the end of June, this course, and yourself and other guest facilitators.
Yeah.
And mine is at the beginning of July with guest facilitators, Manu and Lex, who also trained. I'm so delighted they're coming, and hopefully they'll meet people who are organizing events throughout Ireland in the permaculture world. And there's other groups who just hopefully come up here for that and share in this lovely place. We're ready for you. We're getting these cute little places for people to sort of have little workshops around the land here.
Lovely.
It'd be really nice to bring on the new.
Yeah, well, thank you, everyone. And thank you, Kathleen. And we'll see you all in the next video.
Great. So that's the Facebook page, Cultural Emergence. Cheerio.